Singer D4VD is officially headed to trial after a California judge ruled there is enough evidence for him to face charges in the alleged murder and dismemberment of a 14-year-old girl. The 21-year-old artist, whose real name is David Burke, has pleaded not guilty to all charges as he reportedly showed no visible emotion over the ruling. Here's the latest from the courtroom. A Los Angeles judge ruled that prosecutors presented sufficient evidence during a 5-day preliminary hearing to move the case to trial. Burke now faces charges of murder, continuous sexual abuse of a child under the age of 14, and unlawful mutilation of human remains. According to prosecutors, the victim, 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, was allegedly killed after threatening to expose what authorities describe as a relationship that could have destroyed Burke's rapidly rising music career. The judge stressed that the ruling only determines there is probable cause for a trial, and does not decide guilt or innocence. Burke, who appeared in court, reportedly showed no visible emotion as the ruling was delivered. His defense team declined to comment after the hearing. Outside the courthouse, Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman said prosecutors are still deciding whether to seek the death penalty if Burke is convicted.
Today I am here to announce that Judge Charlene Olmedo held David Anthony Burke, who goes by the name of a singer David spelled D4VT, to answer for the horrific and barbaric killing of a 14-year-old at the time, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She has held him to answer for first-degree murder with the special circumstances of lying in wait, doing this crime for financial gain, and murdering a witness to an investigation. David Anthony Burke has also been held to answer for the mutilation of the remains of Celeste Rivas Hernandez on September 8, 2025, and he has also been held to answer for engaging in continuous lewd and lascivious acts with a 13-year-old. At this point, again, we don't have the one additional consideration is that Mr. Burke now is eligible for death penalty. The death penalty considerations are now being weighed. Part of that consideration will be any submission that the defense wants to submit to the district attorney's office. It is something that we will consider on whether or not we will seek the death penalty. At this point, the death penalty determination has not been made. Well, I'm not going to go into the specifics of that additional evidence, only to say that we presented a significant but small fraction of our evidence in this preliminary hearing. At a trial, we will present all our evidence because the proof at a trial will be beyond a reasonable doubt. We will not be allowed to use certain hearsay that you can use in a preliminary hearing that you cannot use in a trial. It has to be admissible evidence, and the witnesses will need to come in to establish all the foundation, the relevancy, and overcome any objections to the type of evidence. So you are correct that there will be additional and significant evidence presented at a trial that wasn't presented here at this preliminary hearing. Again, at trial, we will bring in all relevant evidence that will establish all the elements of the crimes that have been charged. You heard a preview of that evidence in the preliminary hearing, whether it was, again, certain witness testimony, certain text messages, videos, photographs. There will be business records, and there will also be witnesses that are recipient witnesses. They have information that is relevant to establish the mental state of David Anthony Burke and the acts he committed. That evidence will be presented at trial, at the end of which we will be seeking a verdict of guilt on the 3 counts of which he will be charged: first-degree murder with the special circumstances of lying in wait, doing it for financial gain, and eliminating a witness in connection with that case, mutilation of human remains, and engaging in a continuous series of sexual acts with a minor that are lewd and lascivious acts.
I just wanted to take a brief moment and let you know how the family is feeling after this preliminary hearing. They're relieved that the judge agreed with the prosecution that there's a sufficient evidence in order to hold David Anthony Burke accountable for these charges. which will hopefully proceed to trial. The defense wanted this evidence to see the light of day, and in the last 5 days, it has seen the light of day, and the judge has agreed 100% with the prosecution that the evidence is sufficient to hold David Anthony Burke accountable for these charges.
D4VD is scheduled to be arraigned on August 31st. The case has shocked both the music industry and fans, as Burke's career had been gaining significant momentum before the allegations surfaced. A trial date is expected to be set following his arraignment later this month.